A Charlotte activist is under a federal investigation accused of taking advantage of homeless people to defraud Medicaid.
America, let me tell you something that's straight up evil that just got exposed in Charlotte, North Carolina. And this is gonna make you sick to your stomach. The FBI just raided homes of a so-called community activist named Cedric Dean, who's been running around calling himself a homeless advocate. This dude founded something called Sons Against Violence Everywhere, talking about helping youth stay away from violence. Sounds good, right? Wrong.
Dean says he has bought single-family homes to turn into group homes and that he ran a program at this hotel where he says he tried to provide food, shelter, and treatment for people in need.
What is up, guys? Tyson Dela Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. This man has been using the most vulnerable people in our society, homeless folks, as his personal ATM machine. And when I break down what he did, you're going to understand why I'm heated about government programs with no oversight. Let me paint the picture for you. Cedric Dean and his crew would literally go to homeless shelters, encampments, and halfway houses looking for people living on the streets. They'd offer these desperate folks free food, temporary housing, or small payments. Sounds like charity, doesn't it? But here's the catch. They wanted their Medicaid information in return.
Now, as we mentioned, we arrived here around 1:30. There was around 15 FBI agents walking around the home. A neighbor here says the house was being raided by FBI agents with guns pointed at the house. Now, she says she saw someone in handcuffs, but isn't sure who that was and if they were taken away or not.
But here's where it gets absolutely disgusting. Once they got their Medicaid information, Dean would submit claims for services these homeless people never received. We're talking about billing Medicaid for therapy sessions, AA meetings, medical treatments, none of which actually happened. These people were just trying to survive, and this predator was using their desperation to steal from the government.
Feds say Cedric Dean Holdings billed the Medicaid program at least $14.5 million from September 2024 to June 2025 and received nearly $9 million. This graphic, provided in court documents, shows how some of the money was routed to accounts that were used to pay for cars and houses.
But get this, they were billing 894% more than the next highest provider for similar services. That means they were claiming to provide almost 9 times more services than legitimate providers. That's not suspicious at all, isn't it? The most evil part, in one case, this fool submitted claims for 54 services for someone who was already dead. You hear me? He was billing Medicaid for treating a dead person. That's how greedy and heartless this operation was. Now, let me tell you about this guy's background because it gets worse. Cedric Dean already spent 28 years in prison on 2 separate convictions. At 16, he got convicted for robbery and did 5 years. Then he got caught stealing crack cocaine and then did federal time until 2017. So this was a career criminal who figured out a new way how to steal. But here's what really gets me heated. While he was stealing millions from Medicaid, people were dying in his so-called help program. Earlier this year, a woman and her baby died while staying at the North Charlotte hotel that he was operating. He blamed it on the previous manager, but took no responsibility.
I also wanted to mention that Cedric Dean was in the news back in May when an organization that he ran that was about housing the homelessness and people in transition was at the center of a police investigation where a young woman and her 1-year-old child also died.
Let me break down the money for you guys. Between 2018 and 2024, Dean's legitimate income was only $167,000. But last fall and winter, his income jumped to $10,000 a week. You don't go from making $24,000 a year to $520,000 a year legitimately. That's fraud money, plain and simple. Here's what one witness told investigators, and this is going to make your blood boil.
Did I expect this to happen? Absolutely, I did. Yep. I prayed for it.
Federal court documents allege Dean and his company, CDH, promised free food or temporary housing. But what they really wanted was access to their Medicaid information.
They were saying, we need your Medicaid information to pay for your rooms. They would go around to neighborhoods and pick those people up and sign them up. If they didn't have Medicaid, they would sign them up for the Medicaid so that they could start billing Medicaid for the individual, saying that they're getting treatment.
We never saw any therapist or AA meetings or any of those things.
FBI agents raided this home on Youngblood Road Thursday morning. Drone 3 captured agents moving in and out of what rocks outside the home call Thug Mansion.
I just noticed they put up a fence real quick. Like, as soon as they bought it, they put the fence with the gate up.
That fence couldn't keep out the FBI, which also hit homes on McChesney Drive and a former church on Catherine Simmons Avenue. Agents hauled out evidence from all three properties.
Do you guys see the pattern here? These criminals always target the most vulnerable people, homeless folks who are desperate, who don't have advocates, who society often ignores. Dean knew these people wouldn't complain or even know that they were being used. For my people who understand how Medicaid works, this fraud is easy to commit because Medicaid assumes all claims are legitimate. You're supposed to provide treatment first, then bill for reimbursements. But Dean was just making up services to collect checks.
Neighbors on McChesney Road in Charlotte always wondered what was going on at this home.
There's always so many cars in the driveway.
Yeah, so many cars in the driveway.
That home just always seemed a little off or odd. We didn't know who lived there. A lot of people seemed to live there. It's kind of a revolving door of people.
The feds are now trying to seize everything this guy has. Multiple homes in Charlotte and Shelby, 5 vehicles, jewelry, and all the cash in his bank accounts. They've got properties on Youngblood Road, McChesney Drive, and other locations. This man was living like a king off of money meant to help homeless people. This connects to a bigger problem that I've been talking about. Birds of a feather flock together. Corrupt people protect other corrupt people.
But Dean isn't the only prominent Charlottean I reached out to about this case. According to the CDH webpage, Charlotte Councilmember Tijuana Brown is listed as an employee, and numerous Medicaid provider pages also list her as working at one of the addresses raided by the FBI.
Brown recently lost her primary election in May and was indicted on federal charges in connection with an alleged loan scheme related to the pandemic era loans. And here's what really teased me off. While Dean was buying luxury cars and multiple homes, real homeless people were suffering. The money he stole could have actually helped people get off the streets, get treatment, and get their lives together. Instead, it went to fund his criminal lifestyle.
We never saw any therapists or any AA meetings or any of those such things going on.
If you guys have been with me for a while, you know what I always say. The most dangerous criminals are the ones who hide behind good causes. Dean positioned himself as a community activist and homeless advocate while literally preying on the people he claimed to help. What's crazy is that Dean's neighbors had been suspicious for months. They noticed constant traffic, moving trucks, and a revolving door of people at his properties.
We always gave him the benefit of the doubt when he moved in, thinking that he was helping people.
When the FBI showed up with assault weapons and SWAT teams, neighbors said they weren't surprised. They've been keeping an eye on the house because all of the strange activity.
You'll now see that this also happened at a home on Steel Creek, one of Dean's other properties as well. FBI agents there said that they saw boxes being carried out of the home.
The investigation is still ongoing and Dean hasn't been charged yet, but the feds already got enough evidence to raid his properties and start seizing assets. That tells you that they got him dead to rights. When you see 15 FBI agents with guns drawn raiding multiple properties simultaneously, that's not a fishing expedition. That is game over. For my business-minded people in the chat, this is exactly why I've been telling you guys to pay attention to government spending. When you create massive programs with billions and billions of dollars and minimal oversight, you're basically putting up a free money sign for criminals. The broader lesson here is that we need serious oversight on these social programs. Every dollar needs to be tracked. Every service needs to be verified. Every provider needs to be investigated. Because every Cedric Dean that gets caught, there's probably 10 more still operating. I know some of you are probably wondering why homelessness keeps getting worse despite all the money being spent. Now you know part of the answer. Criminals are stealing the money meant to actually help people.
Those houses included the Youngblood property, a house on McChesney Drive in the Highland Creek area, plus 2 homes in Shelby. Feds are now trying to seize them along with 5 vehicles and all the cash in the bank accounts where the Medicaid money was stored.
America, the bottom line is this. Cedric Dean took advantage of the most vulnerable people in our society to steal millions of dollars from taxpayers. That's not fraud. That is pure evil. And the fact that he was able to operate for months, almost billing 9 times more than legitimate providers, shows you how broken the oversight system is. This man went from making $24,000 $100,000 a year to $520,000 a year by exploiting homeless people who trusted him to help them. While families were dying in his facilities, he was buying multiple homes and luxury vehicles with stolen Medicaid money. What really gets me is that legitimate homeless advocates and service providers are out here doing the real work with limited resources, while criminals like Dean steal millions and millions of dollars that could have actually made a difference. Every dollar he stole was a dollar that couldn't help somebody get clean, find housing, or rebuild their life. Let me know what you think about this. Drop it down in the comment section down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Share, subscribe, and as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.